It is our honor to confer the Vasundhara Sanman, the highest honor of the Kirloskar Vasundhara International Film Festival 2021, on Professor Rouven Yosef from Israel. Professor Yosef is one of the most loved people by birds. He has done unparalleled work in the field of wildlife conservation in different countries as a researcher, a teacher, and the creator of a bird sanctuary, and he is also a scientific advisor. He was born in Pune, India, and has a continued association with the country of his birth through the project on human leopard coexistence in Jaipur. We will now watch his visual citation and then hear from the passionate Professor Yosef himself.
A bird, an amazing creature gifted with the ability of flight. Unfortunately, there are very few rest stops for it along the migratory path, mainly because of a two-legged creature called man, who has destroyed these resting points in the name of convenience. This was a situation faced by many birds migrating over the Middle East Mediterranean area until Professor Rouven Yosef, director of the International Birding and Research Center in Eilat, IBRCE Israel, got involved. In 1994, you acquired a 64-hectare strip of wasteland garbage dump east of the expanding town. Begging for soil from local earth-moving contractors to bury the tip, you built a salt lake stocked with brine shrimp and fed by nutrient-rich effluent from the local sewage works. Fresh water was piped from the city's desalination plant to create a freshwater lake, and the native plants that thrived in the original salt marsh were reseeded with the help from the Jewish National Fund. Only 8% of the area of the original marshes, the IBRCE sanctuary has slowly transformed into an irrigated ornithological paradise. It supports a high density of plants and plenty of food for the birds during their temporary roost, the only food for hundreds of miles in any direction. That's why it is said that you, sir, are the most loved person by the birds. For this project, you were awarded with Visionary of Israel Conservation Award, the highest civilian award equivalent to the Bharat Ratna at the hands of Prime Minister Shimon Peres. You have received prestigious awards like the Swarovski Environment Man of the Year, Associate Laureate Rolex Award, National Geographic Environmental Education Award, among others. You were born in Pune and immigrated to Israel in 1974. At present, you are working as a director of International Birding and Research Center in Eilat, Israel. You do research in zoology, ecology, and environmental education. Your current projects include the human-leopard coexistence in Jhalana, Jaipur. You are educating the next generation to be scientific researchers by teaching a course in high schools, conducting avian research worldwide, including Paphos Forest in Cyprus, Thessaloniki in Greece. You are attempting to understand and resolve human-wildlife conflicts and encourage coexistence. You were a scientific advisor to the NASA Space Shuttle program at the Kennedy Space Center, Florida. You are also involved in environment study and assessments of habitats and bird strike and wildlife hazard management at wind farms in Israel and India, and at airports in Israel, Jamaica, UK. In addition, you deliver lectures at Ben Gurion University of Negev and at the Arava Institute. You were part of a team in Mongolia working against the accidental electrocution of birds of prey. you continue your passion for conservation work in Israel, India, and Mongolia. With Kirloskar Vasundhara Sanman 2021, we would like to salute your unparalleled work in the field of wildlife conservation and wish you a grand success in future endeavors.
I thank the 15th Kirloskar Vasundhara International Film Festival and the organizing committee of the Kirloskar Vasundhara Sanman for choosing to award me the highest honor of the festival. And I accept with a humble and grateful acknowledgement that you recognize my work in the field of conservation, educational education, and hope that we will be able to meet soon in the near future after all the lockdowns are over, and that we will be able to meet in Pune so as to be able to communicate and to continue to cooperate. Personally, for me, this is the closing of a circle. For me and my family, which is originally from Pune, we have been associated and friends of the Kirloskar family um, for quite a few decades now. My father was a good friend of Mr. Kirloskar, and he was even in charge as the air traffic control officer from the Indian Air Force of one of the attempts by a Kirloskar pilot. I remember his name as Mr. Bhagat in Panchkani on one of the tablelands. And there was a lot of newspaper articles written on the subject on the attempt of a Kirloskar plane landing on a tableland in Panchkani. So, as a little boy who evidenced this landing, and after that, having taken off with Mr. Bhagat in one of the Kirloskar planes, for me, it is a great honor and really the closing of a life cycle with Pune itself. So I thank you all for honoring me with the Kirloskar Vasundhara Sanman, and I hope to see you all in person at the earliest.